How you doing, guys? Steve here again tonight. Some updates about how I'm doing and what's going on. First of all, today is my birthday, September 6th, and it honestly has been one of the worst days for me as far as depression and anxiety goes. More depression, I would say it was probably around an 8 or a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. It was a pretty shitty day. And just goes to show you that if you're suffering from anxiety, if you're suffering from depression, that there's no days off, There's no peace treaty for a day. It sticks with you regardless of the occasion, whether it be a good occasion or a bad occasion. Some updates for what I've been doing and how I've been feeling. I've been sticking to my supplements. I've been watching what I've been eating. I've been doing some light exercise. I've been sleeping a hell of a lot longer than normal. It might have to do with my upping my dose on 5-HTP, which I'm going to monitor over the next couple days. I talked to a pretty close friend of mine over the weekend, and she has suggested to make a visual goals board. And basically what that is just a board or a wall or whatever you have at your disposal, and to put your main goal at the top or put it on the board, and to achieve that goal, to achieve what's on that board. Because she told me this story specifically because we got into depth about how long my depression, how long my anxiety's been lasting. And she said that her friend was severely depressed, severely anxious, tried out medications, tried out therapy, and nothing was really working for her. And she came across a visual goals board online and read about it and gave it a shot. She went from being severely depressed and severely anxious to focusing on one thing at a time and achieving that one goal. Because I know for a lot of us with depression and anxiety, as soon as we wake up in the morning or the afternoon or whatever time we're waking up, depending on if we're sleeping in or if we're not sleeping at all. I know for me, the first thing that pops in my head is, how's today going to be? How is an hour from now going to be? What's going to be today? Is it going to be more anxiety or more depression? Is it going to be both at the same time? Am I going to feel well enough to drive? Am I going to feel well enough to prepare my own dinner? Am I going to feel well enough to be able to socialize, normally? If that sounds like you, that's anxiety. It's constant worry, and sometimes the worry gets so out of hand that you can't control it, and then it becomes severe anxiety, which really sucks. And I know for me, when I was in therapy, my therapist had told me that I compile too much shit, for lack of a better word, on top of my already ongoing busy life. And too much shit is too much worry. Now, if you have too much worry, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take out a pen, take out a piece of paper, preferably a piece of paper that doesn't have any lines on it, probably like a piece of blank printer paper, something like that. Something bigger than a post-it note. Take out a pen, take out the blank piece of paper, and I want you to write down all your worries. I want you to write down everything that's bothering you. and then I want you to pause this video and come back to the video once you're done writing it down. So if you're coming back from writing down your worries and coming back from writing down your problems, I want you to look at the paper and see what's in bigger letters, see what's in smaller letters, see what's capitalized, see what's underlined or circled. Anything that seems not the same as all of your other worries is probably your biggest worry, probably your biggest goal, I would say. And when I say goal, it's the goal that you're looking to achieve, or the problem that you're looking to fix. Now, if that problem stands out so greatly, that's your main goal. That should be what's on your visual board. I did this exercise about an hour ago, and it wasn't brought to my attention by anybody, but my wife had just told me, what's bothering you? So I started writing things down, aimlessly on a piece of paper, and she showed me what stood out the most and what things I should be focusing on the most. Because if you focus on too many things at once, you get overwhelmed and you get stressed out. And from stress comes anxiety, and from anxiety comes depression, and from depression comes anxiety, and it's a vicious fucking cycle that we are inadvertently, and I can't even say that word, inadvertently putting ourselves into. So guys, for me, I'm going to share it with you, my own personal ones, is number one was my job, and number two was my serotonin. Those are the ones that stood out, and those are the ones that were bigger, those are the ones that were circled and underlined, and I had so much more on the paper, but those are the main ones that stood out. And now you got to take those ones that stand out, guys, and eliminate the other worries, because if you continuously worry about the same things, especially if it's multiple things, and you don't do anything about them, they're just going to be there. Constant stressors weighing you down. And stressors are the key root to anxiety, the key root to preventing you from getting better from depression. Stress. It kills us from the inside out, and it makes our body work so tremendously bad that you don't even realize it, how bad stress eats us alive. So eliminate one stressor at a time. Put that on your visual goal board and achieve that goal. Beat that worry. Then move on to the next one, because trying to beat 10 things at once is like trying to win in a 10-on-1 street fight. Your odds are a hell of a lot better one-on-one. No matter how big the bully is, no matter how big the guy or the girl is in front of you, your odds are a hell of a lot better, facing one thing at a time. And I know it's easier said than done, but I feel a lot more relieved than I did for the last 14 hours I've been awake, just after writing down what's going on and what I have to focus on. And I wanted to run that by you guys, because after all, it is my birthday. It's supposed to be a good day, and I wish I had wrote that stuff down many hours ago. So give it a shot, guys. I now know what my main focus is, and I'm gonna leave everything else on the back burner. I have to focus on one thing at a time. For me right now, it's my job, and then maybe I'll tackle two at a time, but I know I preach one at a time, but my job and my serotonin, because those are both of the things that are holding me back, and everything else is tied to it, but it's much smaller. So those are the two big bullies in my life, and I'm gonna face them head on. So face your stressors, your bullies, your problems, your worries, one at a time. Two, if you really have to struggle with two, then take two on. But my best advice is one. Anyways, guys, it was one of my least favorite birthdays, but I learned something today. I'm 29 now, and I'm hoping that 29 is going to be a hell of a lot better than 28. Here's to wishing we all get well soon. Like I say all the time, guys, if you are struggling, if you're down, if you're hurting, if you're suffering, please keep fighting, please keep your head up, and please keep surviving. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be well.